that's why it's really important to have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my god.
Yo! Who is this Degen?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about impermanent loss.
Really, at the end of the day, it's just the matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom, so we can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto degenerates, ducks and squirrels, welcome to this here super duper special friendship episode of the Degen Roundtable. My name is Will Stevenson. I'll be your sort of kind of host for tonight. I'm also joined by fellow Degen Roundtable founder Agent J and our special guest over here, Mr. Jonathan Navarro. What's going to be happening tonight is Mr. Jonathan's got a whole bunch of super cool questions that he's going to ask myself and Agent J about, like, the growing up, and not necessarily growing up, but making like life decisions as a young man in the crypto space and just life stuff in general. So that's what the direction of the show is going to be tonight. For those of you guys that don't know, Agent J of the Degen Roundtable, he is a technical analyst, and he is our great value technical analyst, as he likes to say. He runs us through all the charts and does all the magic. Mr. Jonathan Navarro is a bartender, and he mixes super cool, awesome, fancy drinks, and he's also a Degen proper in his heart. And then I'm just a scumbag iron worker that rolls around the states building TV and radio towers in my free time. I like to talk crypto to assholes and degenerates such as yourselves. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight. Welcome to the show. Mr. Agent J, what's new and exciting with you, broski?
I would say there's a lot of new and exciting things, but it's the same shit, different day. I'm a very routinized person, so I get up and do the exact same thing, work on my business, go in the charts, do some trading, do some streaming, and it's a pretty damn good life, man.
Excellent.
I got nothing to complain about.
Nothing to complain about. I think you're underselling your life a little bit. Just so you guys at home know, Agent J does some fantastic furniture restoration, and he sold a fantastic piece earlier today. It made a shit ton of money. Now he's a trillion, gazillion, trillionaire and doing awesome, great stuff. So I thought that was a cool story, bro.
It ain't no king's ransom, but you know, it allows me to have everything, maintain a certain quality of life, and also have enough left over to invest in the most degenerate asset class of all time. So
what's also cool about it is you're your own boss. So like however much effort you put into this business is what you get out of it, right? You don't have to go to a 9 to 5. You're not like me where I have to show up on site at fucking 7 in the morning and then like go drag cables around in the dirt for some other person and, you know, stack tower and twist bolts and things. Like, you're free. You have found your way out of the matrix, and you know, what you do is what you get. And so like that's pretty cool and awesome. But enough about you, bro. Let's talk to our special guest, Mr. Jonathan Navarro. Dude, how are you doing? What's up? What's new and exciting with you?
Not much, honestly. I'm just interviewing for my next engineering job. I'm also studying. I am studying a little bit more of old school bartending. That's what I specialize in. I bought a couple. Yeah, old school, like, you know, prohibition style.
What is old school bartending?
I'm gonna say prohibition style.
So
like what do you like serving drinks like through like a little slit in a wall or something, like where no one can see you? Like I don't know what that means.
Those are speakeasies.
Okay.
They do exist. They're not very you know, prominent anymore. But you know, a lot of bartenders nowadays, they learn in the modern style, or they learn from each other. So their techniques are off, or the version of a cocktail that they have has been skewed and diluted, where it's different from its original version. So I'm just trying to refine and, you know, find out where the origins of a cocktail is. I have a couple books I have them right here. So I have the bar guide. This is a I don't know. I just bought it yesterday. They just go over a lot of like old cocktails and then the cocktail variations of the same cocktail. So that's cool. And also I just bought a book on mocktails. So non-alcoholic. So just a bunch of different, fancy girly stuff. Or like if a kid at a restaurant's like, I want to drink too, and I don't want a soda. And I'm like, okay, I'll make something great, right? So they can play the part if they want, right?
Get them started early.
I do not advocate for that, but I like to have fun. It opens up the things that I'm able to do in terms of the restaurant. Opens up my versatility as my second career, right? I like to be proficient in everything I do. But not much is different. I am still learning Arabic, so I have my tutor.
Very cool.
She calls me every once in a while, and then I butcher everything, but it's all good.
That's good. We got to work on your framing and your positivity. But like, you're doing great stuff, man. You're doing awesome things. Remember that, and always focus on that. Always talk about the cool and awesome things that you're doing. It's like
he's such a fucking Asian, bro.
You are a super
bartender. Learning how to speak Arabic, going back down into the roots of traditional drink making.
Well,
like overachiever, bro.
No, I wouldn't say so. It's like for me, everything has to be principle and fundamental. Because from there I can build. Otherwise, if someone told me how to do something, I'd kind of be like brain dead, like a monkey, right? You can teach a monkey how to do a trick or do a certain action, and they'll never question why, right? So for me, if I want to grow on my own, I have to know the fundamentals and the principles, so that way I can apply them, while I'm doing the thing that I'm doing, or if I find a different outlet elsewhere, I can also apply aspects of those things because I have deep understanding.
Yep.
So that's what makes it advantageous to me.
Yeah, very good philosophy. Very good philosophy.
I like it. I like it. Speaking of philosophy, we've got some philosophers over here in the comments that it's time for us to run and jump on over to everyone's favorite part of the show. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for chat motherfucking shoutouts, right? We are back in the shipping container Connex where I very first made this chat shoutout and did a really shitty job of laminating it. So it is time to get back to our roots and back to the people that show us as much love as we show them. We've got Jemmy coming in here. Jemmy has made this comment at 2:04 p.m. It is currently 7:09 p.m. So Jemmy was early to the stream by 5 hours. Shout out to you, Jemmy, wherever you are. I bet that you're catching us on the replay right now because there's no way that you were sitting in the YouTube lobby for 5 hours waiting for the DJ Roundtable. But if you were, we love and appreciate you, Jemmy. Happy Wednesday to you too, Jemmy. Everyone's favorite babushka in the DGen Roundtable space. We fucking love to see it. We're also joined by Mr. Brendan of the DGen Roundtable. He won't be able to join tonight. Shout out to everyone and pump it fucking up. I know that one of Brendan's favorite songs was like, pump it up. You got to pump it up. So like every time I see Brendan or every time we hang out, we're always playing that fucking song. So shout out to you, Mr. Brendan. Good to see you, broski. Glad we could have you with us as well. And that was at 3:06 p.m. We are also joined by Miss Amber Simon. Miss Amber Simon says, hello to you too, Miss Amber Simon. Good to see you. Hope that you're doing fantastic on your health and fitness journey. Shout out to Amber. She's made some like super awesome progress. You guys can go check it out over in the DGen Roundtable Telegram. I'll send you some links for that Telegram later. But shout out to Amber. We're also joined by Mr. M. Rock Jockey or Mr. Ock Jockey. I still don't know how to say your name, bro. Whiskey for my friends and beer for my horses. I'm going to be a horse today. I'm drinking some Mick Ultra, and I know that my two Asian counterparts both do not drink. So I will be drinking plenty of alcohol for the three of us as we go through this podcast.
Coffee for me.
You. Coffee for Agent J. Coffee. You're over on Arizona. Is Arizona on Pacific time right now because of the...
Arizona got its own time.
Yeah.
No,
Arizona is its own time, but
Yeah.
does it line up with Pacific?
not sure. All I know is that we're 2 hours behind Eastern time.
2 hours
That's all
behind
I
Eastern.
know.
Okay. So you're
That's all I
mountain
know.
right now. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Shout out to Arizona. Whiskey for my friends, beer for my horses. And speaking of whiskey and beer, we are joined by Tam Tam, who says hello to my beautiful lovelies with 2 hearts this time. Shout out to you, Tam. Good to see you. #1 cheerleader in the Pulse Chain and Hexco space. We love you too, Tam. Welcome to the stream. Glad that we could have you with us tonight as well. And we're joined by my good friend, Mr. Josh Slide 180, a good friend of mine. He made me that wine that I was showing you guys on the last stream. He says cheers with the beers. So cheers to you too, sir. I'm drinking the beers tonight. I'll be drinking your wine shortly, my good friend. So I gotta savor that stuff for the cool and awesome special occasions. We would love to have you on Whiskey Wednesdays at some point, Mr. Josh. We'll talk offline and we'll see what we can do about that. But yeah, bro, we'd love to have you on. I could pick your car or I could pick your brain all day about like car stuff and super cool, awesome, fun times that we had in the Marine Corps, and we'll have a great time. And then finally, we are joined by the ascending man from the Degen Roundtable, Nate McGetta. Yo, brothers, glad for the show. Just got home from work. Shout out to you, Nate. I also just got home from work, but I'm actually like my home is work right now. I'm at the place that I'm working. We're stacking a tower like right outside. I tried showing Jonathan before the stream started, but like it's just too bright outside for you guys to see the tower. So good to see that you're home, Nate. Glad that we could have you with us. And shout out to everyone, whether you guys are watching us live or on the replay. We appreciate each and every single one of you all. Remember to smash that like button, like that smash button, and do all that stuff. And let's go ahead and hop on into the meat and potatoes of the show. So the reason that we're having this show today is because one, it's Whiskey Wednesday, and two, Mr. Jonathan has some questions and some guidance and some conversation that he wants to have with myself and Agent J. Both me and Agent J are in our 30s, and Mr. Jonathan is in his 20s, and so this is kind of like for all of you guys at home that are in similar positions, right? I highly suggest that you talk to people that are older than you and talk to people that are younger than you for the opposite reasons. Talk to the older people than you so that way you can glean and extract the knowledge and experience that they have, and talk to the people younger than you so that way you can like if they're interested, you can help them out and give them some pointers. And also it kind of keeps you in touch with like whatever the slang and the lingo and the TikTok stuff is that's going on. So you don't become irrelevant boomers or nothing like that. So that's my advice for the folks at home. So, Mr. Jonathan, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you, broski, and say what's on your mind, man. What's
Well,
what's cracking, Black?
well, I just want to go over what you said just a second ago. The slang. I am, Gen Z or the beginning of Gen Z, but I have no idea what the fuck they're saying.
Oh,
like, so what's funny is like, I try to. I don't spend a lot of time on social media, and so I'm kind of in a way disconnected. But everything does sound familiar. So I'm in that strange paradigm. However, it's like when I talk to someone that is 2 years younger than me, and they're like, saying a bunch of slang, or like there's this new word that comes out. I'm just like, brother, are we speaking English? So I do have that trouble. It's so funny.
Do you want to hear what my latest like phrase was that I learned from some of my I have a good buddy, Mr. Zach. Shout out to you, Mr. Zach, if you're watching right now. Yeah, that dude taught me everything I know about music. But he has a younger brother and a younger sister, and we were all hanging out at a family function, and they said something about like, oh, on her Instagram she had her dogs out on the main, and I'm like, dogs out on the main? What the hell does that mean? Apparently, do either of you guys know what this means? Dogs out
Nope.
on the main. That means that you have your toes showing, your feet showing on your main Instagram, not like your side Instagram where it's like you do whatever the fuck you want, but like on the main Instagram showing pictures of your feet or something. They were talking about like one of the younger sister's like girlfriends or whatever that she has, and she was like, yeah, I can't believe she was posted dogs out on the main. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Like dogs out on the main? Like I'm thinking back to like Who Let the Dogs Out or some shit like that. And I'm like, okay, so she's got some like ratchet friends that are running around Main Street or something like that. No, it means like feet pictures on your main profile. So I don't know. I guess that's that's some of the Instagram lingo. So I'm super far behind, right there with you, Jonathan. I have no idea what a lot of this stuff means. And
People pay for that kind of service.
yeah, I mean, hey, dude, feet pics go a long ways. So like, if you're a woman out there and you're looking to make some cash and you don't care about your reputation, then hey, go ahead and sell your feet pics on the internet. But like, I don't know. The world's a really freaking weird place. I got no clue. Jay, do you ever like learn some weird ass lingo and as you're because you do you deal with a lot of college people when you're buying and selling furniture and stuff like that?
I do, but the relationship is purely business and transactional.
That's good.
Very rarely do I actually spend a significant amount of time speaking to these kids. And if I did, I'd probably just try and navigate around the language as best as I can.
Oh my god.
You know what
Okay.
they call me? They call me freaking boomer. Like that's my
Boomer?
nickname. Yeah,
Boomer?
yeah, like boomer because like I don't even know what like.
Oh, they
their
call you
slang.
boomer.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you're a young boomer, bro. Oh man. Hey, you should just like if you just own it and you just be like, yeah, dude, that's me. Fucking hell yeah. I'm your boomer. Yes. What were some of the things that you wanted to ask? So you would wanted to ask us about like developmental stuff and
Yeah. So
having to
like
do with like time passing.
yeah, so like well, what's interesting is like, you know, I never wanted to be a bartender or I never wanted to be an engineer. Like those things came on circumstance. If I haven't shared that already, it's really interesting. So, like, when I was 18, and this was what 7 years ago. I graduated high school, and then it was the summer. I was just playing video games like every single day, like maybe 10 hours, 12 hours. Like it was ridiculous. Right. And I had no skills to my name, right? I played sports, so I was fairly built. That was all I was good for. I was pretty good in school too. I was an A student with C grades. I didn't do the homework, right? And so I thought I was okay. But then during that summer, I saw on social media, on Instagram before I deleted it, that everyone was going out, everyone was having a good time, everyone was just, touring their school, moving in. And I was looking at myself and I was like, oh shit, I got no money and I'm not in school. This is a problem, right? And so, I was talking to my parents and, they're always tailoring, or they were trying to tailor me to, do well so that I can go to school. None of my brothers went to school, and I'm the only one that did graduate. And so my parents wanted me to, be a doctor, be an engineer, pick up some, respectable trade. And I wasn't really into that. I'm very capable, but I was not into it. But my first step was like, okay, well, first I got to get to school, and I had nowhere to begin, so I applied to community college, and then so for the fall of that year, 2018, I went to community college. And then that's where I kind of started my journey. But I was just taking general ed classes because I still wanted like 2 years to figure out what I wanted to do. But then at the same time, I also needed a job. And so, I was sitting in my room, and then I was watching on social media that everyone was going on vacation, and I'm sitting in my room like a loser, right? I'm looking at these white walls. I'm like, after me being burnt out of playing games, I was like browsing the social media, and I was like, man, I've never been X place. Like, I've never left California, right? That's the honest truth. Like, I've been to Vegas, I've been to Hawaii, but I don't really count that. And so I'm looking at myself and I'm like, yeah, dude, this kid's a loser. I was like, let's be real.
How long ago was this?
7 years ago.
7 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. And so what had happened was I was like, oh, let me pray to God. I need a job. Please give me a job, right? And then what's funny is the next day, I had a friend, and she texted me, "Hey, Jonathan, you want to work with me?" And I was like, "I'll take it. I don't care what it is. I'll take it." Right? And
this is where the bartender started.
Yeah, this is kind of where it started, right? So this is I was working. My first job was at Red Robin, right? and Red Robin is they sell burgers. And I have no experience in working whatsoever. So I started off as a host and I just sat people, right? Sat people at the tables and said hello to people and then said goodbye. That was my entire job. And, from there, I went into serving, and from serving, I was actually discovered by a manager at a fine dining restaurant. He said, "I like you. I don't know what it is, but I like you." So he gave me his business card, right? I took that business card, and then that's how I kind of started my journey into serving and bartending and fine dining. But that was circumstantial. And it was actually pretty good because it did fund me going to school. And it also allows me to have a fallback career if engineering doesn't work out. And, throughout that time, while I was going to school, I was like, okay, least of all evils, I'll just do engineering, right? And then the reason why I picked mechanical was actually very funny. The reason why I picked mechanical engineering was because there was one less math class I had to take. So I was like,
"There's your Asian." I was calculator's coming out, bro. Watch out.
Yeah, I got my calculator right here, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, you know what all these buttons do? Like, it's so funny. But anyways, yeah, I was like, yo, dude, what is this linear algebra?
Oh,
I'm not doing that, dude.
Linear algebra.
I was like,
that's a throwback.
I'm like, no, it's good, it's good. Linear algebra, no, thank you. That's how I kind of got into engineering, and I haven't looked back. Like it was a second thought, honestly.
Okay.
But now that I'm here, right, I am working, but in a way, I'm comfortable, but I'm not necessarily happy, right? I'll be honest with you. I have everything.
You're not happy because you're comfortable.
Well,
there you go.
Maybe. But I don't know where to think, right? Because I'm applying for these jobs and these engineering jobs, they ask me what is your passion, right? And I'm kind of at a loss for that because here's the honest truth, right? I am built to work, right? I will excel in the thing that I do, right? And that's my only goal, right? If I go into aerospace, if I do HVAC, if I do, I don't know, some form of manufacturing.
Jay, this dude is so fucking Asian, man. I am built to work, man.
No. That's not what I mean.
Jonathan, man, but
we are beasts of burden, man. I don't think a lot of people realize that, but Jonathan hit something on the head. We are beasts of burden. There's a reason why people feel so aimless and directionless, especially in the younger generation. It's because they don't have purpose. They don't know how to find meaning, and because they don't realize that we are beasts of burden. We are built to work. It's not isolated to Jonathan. It's just something that most people don't realize.
Yep.
We are not built to relax. I forgot who said it. Some great philosopher. He said something along the lines of, if the only thing that humans had to do was busy themselves with the propagation of the species and eat cake, they would get so bored within the week that they'd destroy everything just to get some kind of stimulation. So we're not built to relax. You can only sip so many margaritas on a beach out in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Jonathan, that's why the last time that we talked, I asked you, what is your purpose? Is what do you do with your time? What do you want to do with your time? What's your problem solving? What's the thing? If you're spending all your time eating cake and drinking margaritas, I know you don't drink, but if you're spending all your time eating cake and I don't know, fucking consuming, then eventually you get bored and you get tired of it. So that's where that question comes from. But sorry, we broke off tangentially from your story. Continue to where you're driving at.
Wait, I forgot where it was. Hold on.
You were talking about how you got into engineering and you're currently looking.
Oh, right, yeah. So I'm in these interviews, right? So I'm in these interviews and they're asking me, what is it that you like about what you're doing? And me being honest, right? Because I don't lie. I don't think lying is a good thing. And also because if you lie, you'll never be free from yourself, right? And so I'm being honest, 100% transparent. I'm like, hey, I just like to do, the job to the best of my ability, right? These are my skills. This is what I can show you. These are my past projects, and this is the thing that I've refined, right? And then they're like, no. What is it that you like, right? And I say, well, I like to do what? And that means anything that I do. But in a way, it's like shitting on them, right? The senior engineer that's interviewing me, it's like, what do you like about manufacturing, right? And this guy's a manufacturing engineer his entire career, right? And I say, I just put in the work, right? And so he thinks, because I'm just saying this, I'm just full of shit, right? He thinks,
I can see that.
He thinks that I'm just there to clock in 9 to 5 and then move on with my day. And that's not the truth. But to him, because, it's like me saying to him, I don't like engineering. I'm just there based on circumstance, right? And, because I have a perspective mind where I think about what the other person in their shoes are looking at me at, right? What do they think of Jonathan? And I think they see someone that is kind of lost, so they don't pick me, right? But they don't see the ambition that I have, right? The ambition is like, I just want to do the best that I can, where I can grow myself, right? Grow the company, with the skills that I can, the things that I can accomplish within my tenure there. But I don't think, because of my my explanation, or me being honest with myself, that they totally agree with what they see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the unfortunate reality is, so Dr. Peterson said this. It was one of the first things that really resonated with me. He spoke about his experiences when people would stop him in the middle of the street, or they would talk to him after his shows. And one of the most common comments that he would tell, that the people would tell him, was, I always knew those things that you said to be true, but I never found the words to say them, right? And I think that's a very similar place that you found yourself in early in your career, Jonathan, is that you wanted to communicate something beautiful to them, right? But you couldn't necessarily find the words to express it in a way that they would understand, right? Because it's not like you weren't going there just to get a paycheck. What you were doing was, you had a set of skills, and you weren't necessarily passionate about engineering. That wasn't what you were passionate about. What you were passionate about was doing the work to the best of your abilities, no matter what the avenue of life was. It just so happened that the skills that you accumulated at the time lined you up with that engineering job, right? And like, to me, listening to you say that and looking at it in hindsight, that's a beautiful thing, right? That's a beautiful thing. But unfortunately, most people aren't going to understand it that way. They're going to think, what you've elucidated to us is that they're going to think that you're just there for a paycheck, right? Because they don't understand that the passion can exist in just doing the work itself. It doesn't have to be anything too specific, right? The passion can just be doing the work itself, and that's what you had. You had the passion for just doing the work itself to the best of your abilities.
Bringing to my bartending, right? The reason why I have these books is because, I'm having fun there, right? I'm entertaining the guest. I'm doing my own thing, but I'm also learning, right? Some people are like, oh, how do you know so much, right, about bartending if you don't drink, right? Well, one, I'm a wizard because I don't read. Right? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, you guys know how to read? Like, guys, I have the internet, so I'm smart, I don't have to be smart if I have the internet, I'll be honest with you. But I do all this refining on my own, right? That's what I enjoy. It's like self-discovery. And also because what's interesting is, what blows people's mind is when they encounter something new, right? And to me, like, going through these old books, right, these used books, these books that are falling apart. What I find in them is, things that have been lost due to time, right? And so if I were to reintroduce that to the older generation, it brings familiarity to them, but also the newer generation that I get to see. They're like, oh my God, what is this wizardry, right? Dude, what kind of alchemy are you doing behind the bar? I'm like, no, dude, I just know how to read, right?
What is
I
this
went
guy
out and looked
doing?
on it my own, right?
Well, you shouldn't downplay your actions, because it's like you consider it just reading, but like that's only the beginning of the knowledge accumulation. The rest of it is like the implementation, which is the harder part, right? The reading's the beginning. The reading is the starting point for sure. But like you shouldn't don't worry about minimizing the things that you do. Worry about the product that you make from other people's perspectives, Like that's a framing technique.
Well, I had this thought when I was going through school. I was like, if I'm not learning, I'm losing. You know, if
That's
I'm
good.
not, yeah, if I'm not progressing, right? If I take day to day as the same, like another day in the office, and not think too much about it, I'm not growing as a person. And people are like, "Oh, but Jonathan, why don't you have time? You don't want to hang out with me?" I'm like, "No, I gotta do this first, right?" I'm looking for something that I don't have. Um, we can hang out later, right? And then what's kind of sad is like I'm so busy that I just don't hang out with people. Well, I do, but not in the way that people want.
Yeah.
It's like everyone wants to go out on Friday, Saturday, and I'm like, no, I have to do this because I have a long-term goal, right? Oh, and you know what's sad about this, right? I'm also at the age where people grow apart. So like,
Can I
yeah, go ahead.
finish your statement? But I'm going to stop you at this point, and we're going to come back to it. Continue though.
Okay, yeah. So like there was a time where I was building my restaurant career, and then I was like towards the tail end of my engineering, right? And I've kind of completely at this point cut people off, right? I was like, no, I'm busy, right? There was a time not too long ago where I came back and I was like, hey guys, check this out. I'm back. Let's go do something, right? And then all of a sudden, because I have changed and developed into a new character in a way, to them, I was unrecognizable. And I kind of felt like, oh, I no longer belong in this friend group. I grew up with these guys, and they no longer see me as one of the boys, right? And not to talk bad about them, but I'll be honest with you, they haven't grown since high school. And so that's the kind of paradigm I find myself in. It's kind of sad. And like I'll be honest with you, like I only talk to like 2 people now. And so that's the thing about me growing up. I'm 25, but I'm at the age where I see it. It's real. People just drift apart. And that's where I am.
So people don't just drift apart. Why are people interested in hanging out with other people? That's the thing that I'm going to dig into here. It's not a function of time. It's a function of something else. But like I'm going to ask you questions until we get to that point. So why do people drift apart? What is it that makes people before we think about why people drift apart, what is it that brings people together?
I think it's the presence, the value that you give them.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. So it's value driven. It's value oriented. So what is value?
It's very subjective, right?
Yeah.
Value,
I think
value could be a whole bunch of different things. Value
yeah.
could be the time spent together. Value could be like, hey, what skill do you bring me that I don't have?
Mhm.
Right? Value can be defined in many different ways.
Yep.
But it's like pick a definition. It probably fits it.
Yes.
Right? So if that
go ahead.
relation, if if the friends that you've been hanging out with, right, you don't fulfill that. I know a lot of people don't like thinking of it that way, right? But it's a fact of life. You can either accept it or deny it. But with those group of friends that you used to hang out with, right, your presence, the person that you turned into, right, they don't see a value exchange in that relationship anymore, and so you drift apart, right? Whether the value was commonality and interests and time spent together, right? And it seems like that's what's happened there within that relationship, right? And so you drift apart, right?
I'm going
It's
to
not a
take
good
it
or bad thing, right? It's not a good or bad thing, right? It's not a moral thing. I think people try to attach morality to it. It's not a moral thing, right? It's just a difference in values and a difference in life paths, and a difference in the direction that you guys are headed.
I want to give you an extreme example, Jonathan, to drive home a point, right? And the things that I am about to say are not true for everyone at home that's listening. But Jonathan's friends love to murder bunny rabbits. That's their favorite thing to do. And Jonathan has decided that he's going to go and like he's going to go raise puppy dogs. That's what Jonathan likes to do. Jonathan likes to produce puppy dogs, and Jonathan's friends like to kill rabbits. So like little bitty bit whatever, right? The point is your friends don't enjoy doing the same things that you enjoy doing. The things that you enjoy doing are positive, the things that they enjoy doing are net negative. So like you have to ask yourself like, hey, there's stuff that they like, there's stuff that I like. Those paths don't necessarily intersect, and it doesn't make either person wrong. Like I chose the murdering bunny thing, like to drive the point home that it's like sometimes people just like different things at different points in their lives, right? Like I don't play as much Operation Flashpoint as I did when it first came out back in 2004. You know, it's a fucking great game, and I love it, and I love Arma and everything, but I just don't play it as often as I used to because I'm doing different things now. I'm doing more podcasting. I'm doing more climbing towers. I'm doing more like teaching people how to shoot guns and things. I'm not playing video games as often because like it doesn't do the same for me that it did. Your friends live in the thing that used to be great and used to be awesome, and that's perfectly fine for them. I'm not judging them negatively. I'm saying that you have found something that makes you better and they're not interested in that. They're interested in their thing. And it doesn't make them bad people. It doesn't make you a bad person. It simply means that you're going in a different direction that they are, and that's okay. You're One of the things that you're going to learn in life is you're going to be constantly outpacing some of your friends, and there's going to be some of your friends that are going to be constantly outpacing you. And the ones that fall back to the wayside for whatever reason, like it's simply it's collateral damage. It's part of the process, man. um you're going to get better than people are going to get better than you, and there's a whole lot of um there's a whole lot of incompatibility in that feature, and we do get nostalgic because like it's like, why can't things go back to the way they used to be? And um the easy answer to that is like help your friends level up, you know. But if your friends aren't interested in leveling up, then it's like, why the hell are you hanging out? Like the reason that me and Agent J and Tracker and Jeff and Josh and Nate and everyone in the DGen Roundtable, like the founders of the DGen Roundtable, when you see our intro play, the reason that we all started hanging out together is because we were like 10 people out of a group of 300 or something that were all doing some stuff, and we all noticed each other and we're like, hey, you're doing stuff too, we should hang out more. And then we formed the DGen Roundtable because it's like there was 300 motherfuckers that were all like in this area doing things, but they weren't doing the same things as we were doing.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, these cats are pretty cool. We should hang out with them more. And so
Yeah.
we started hanging out. So like the long and short of it is like your friends list is going to shrink and it's going to expand in different directions than you didn't see before. So you shouldn't hate your old friends. Like you shouldn't feel bad. You shouldn't feel anything other than just like, you know, like, hey, they're free sovereign human beings capable of making whatever choices they want to. It's just that like the choices that you've made and the choices that they made, they used to run parallel and they've kind of sort of started splitting apart, and that's perfectly okay. You just got to make more friends, bro. You just got to meet
Yeah.
more cool people that are doing the same stuff that you're doing. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you
Will
got, Jay?
had a very good example there in our origin story. But even think about it, even within a very small group of people that supposedly had a common interest, right? A group of less than 1,000 people who supposedly wanted to learn about crypto and invest in crypto and become competent at investing in crypto. Even within the group of 1,000 people, that was already pretty niche, and you'd figure that we'd find commonality with quite a bit of those people. We extracted 10 from that set of 700 to 1,000, right? Because even within that 1,000, the values and the directionality of every single one of those individuals did not line up, right? And the unfortunate reality is, because over the course of the last year, I've gotten to know you a little bit better, and you explaining your background here, I've gotten to know you a little bit better, right? You're not exactly a common personality, right?
This I'm aware. Yeah.
You're statistically an outlier. And what you're going to realize is that is a very existing on the very edge of that bell curve is going to be very lonely. Right? It doesn't make everybody else in the middle good or bad. It's just what it is. Right? You have a very specific direction that you're going to, that you're working towards, and most people in the middle aren't like that. That's why here at the Degen Roundtable, we find the brotherhood, the camaraderie that we have, because you've now found a group of people that are heading in pretty much the same direction. But most of the rest of the world aren't going to be like that. Most of the rest of the world just are very happy and satisfied being in the middle, living within the status quo. They tell you that they want better things for themselves, but the actions do not follow it. And so that's one of those things that I think you especially, right? You're still young. You're going to have to come to peace with it the same way that a lot of us had to come to peace with it, right? This is why we gravitate towards each other so well here. Because until we found each other, I'm going to speak personally. It was very lonely. It was very lonely.
100%.
Right? Because even within close friends and family, most people do not understand, and they will never understand. And I don't begrudge them for not understanding. I don't think any less of them for not understanding. It's just what it is.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy has an excellent point here. People you associate with either bring you down to a lower level or make you a better person. And yet the second part, sometimes you have to leave people behind. And it's not because you hate them. It's simply because you're traveling an awesome path. And they might not be traveling an awesome path. And that's both of these facts are okay. Neither one of them are something that's judgmental. It's you have to put on your own oxygen mask when it drops from the plane before you assist other people. And if everyone around you is not putting on their oxygen masks, and you're the only one putting on your oxygen masks, and when the plane does the thing and everyone passes out, you're the only one left awake because you're the only one with an oxygen mask on, and it's it's like you can help the people that are around you, but if every single person on this plane is not putting on their oxygen mask and you're the only one, then it's you're going to be the only one in the plane that's breathing air after X, Y, and Z amount of time. This is a natural part of life, bro. This is one of those things that they don't teach you in school, is that your friend groups change, people level up, people don't level up, and you shouldn't hate them. You shouldn't feel bad for them. You should, if they want opportunity to learn, then you should enable them, and you should give them the tools to level themselves up. You should never do the work for them. You should give them the same tools that you used, or teach them better ones, perhaps, so that they can do all their stuff and keep up with you and do great things.
It's actually funny that you say that, because that's exactly what I did one time, or a couple times.
Did you do the work for someone else, or
no? I was telling them what I would do, the things that I think about. I'll give you an example. So I had a friend, he was working at Wingstop, right? And he was like, oh, dude, I hate my life. But the thing is, he at the time, he's taking care of his mother, because her mother is bedridden.
Okay.
And he lives in a small town, so there's not a lot of opportunity, right? Even though he's working at Wingstop, it's like probably the best job that he'll find for the time, right?
Sure.
And I was telling him, like, don't think of it like, you're working at Wingstop. Like, if I was in your shoes, right, I would show initiative so that way I can be noticed, right? I'd be like, I am gonna clean just because I can, right? I am going to clock in early because I can, right? I'm going to stay a little bit longer, make sure everything's tidy. So, and then I would always ask the supervisor or the manager. I was telling him, ask your supervisor, hey, what is one thing I can do for you, right, to make your job easier, right? And that's what he did, right? And in doing so, that got him noticed by the general manager of that store, right? And then the regional director of that area noticed him as well, right? And then I haven't talked to him since I had given him that advice. And then 6 months later, he gives me a call just out of nowhere, out of the blue, and says, Jonathan, you made me a manager. You made me the general manager of my store. You've changed my life, right? Yeah. Instead of making $12 an hour, he's making $35 an hour. Yeah. And I was whoa, dude, I was telling you how I would change my situation, right? I just wanted to do well. And that's all I said. I just want to do well in the thing that I do.
Yeah.
And that had inspired him. And he kind of took the words that I had told him to heart, and that's what he implemented. There's another one, right? So recently, I was mentoring one of the guys I work with at the restaurant I work at, and he's a bar back. He's literally just there to clean, all the other bartenders' mess. And I was like, no, I'll take this guy under my wing. Why not? I don't want him to clean for the rest of his life. Yeah. Right? This guy, he's a young guy. He's my age. He had some troubles because he tells me his story, his personal stories about himself while we're working together. And I say, no, I don't want you cleaning tables anymore. And so I was teaching him how to bartend. I was teaching him the things I think about, how to interact with the guests, right? I say, observe me if you're not doing anything. If you want, you can stand behind me, and then, or I can bring you in and you can work with me, right? I'll show you the things that I do that, make me successful. And that had inspired him to actually be the best assistant that I've ever had, right? And also it touched him so much that he had asked me to do this particular favor for him, right? In a way, he was telling me I was changing his life, right? He tells me, Jonathan, you've inspired me to go back to school. Jonathan, I am no longer doing drugs. Jonathan, I am not going out and drinking anymore. Jonathan, I'm not wasting my money. You've inspired me to do, you've inspired me to change my life, right? And I said, I just told you who I was. I told you, all I did was like, I just wanted to show you that I don't want you to clean table. That's all I told him, right?
Can I butt in here for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
So one thing that I would heavily encourage you to do, and the only reason I say this is because I notice you're doing it right now, is I would encourage you to frame things from a positive perspective rather than a diminishing perspective. So when you say the only thing I told you to do, what you're saying is like, I didn't do anything special. Don't don't think that what I'm doing is cool. When in reality, you've changed someone's life. It's like, that's powerful, man. Yeah. You shouldn't brag about it, but you should be like, this is very real, and I'm doing an actual thing with my actions. So instead of saying the only thing that I did, you could say like, hey bro, I'm glad that the thing that I did is effective, right? That's the best thank you that people love to hear, is that like, when someone when someone thanks you for something and you say like, whoa, 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 all I did is hold the door open, or like, no, 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 I only drove you to the airport, bro. It's not like I gave you my kidney. Or it's like, hey, bro, I only gave you my kidney. It's not like I took a bullet for you, right? When people diminish the actions that they do, it has an effect up here in your brain. What a healthy thing that you can do is say like, hey, I'm glad that you appreciate it, and I'm glad that I'm able to help you, and I'm ready to do more. So let's fucking have a positive, forward-looking
Yeah.
relationship, right? So you say
Yeah.
like, hey, yes, I acknowledge that you said thank you, and I'm gonna do more of it. So you can look forward to that. And also like, I love you, bro, and cool things are abounding. So that's just that's a little mental trick that I would encourage you to try and adopt more in your life. Jay, you got a thought, it sounds like.
Yeah. What seems like something small, perspective,
Yeah.
not something that a lot of people get. Some of the most valuable things that I've received from mentors throughout my entire life was perspective. All right. It allowed me to see outside of my own situation and see it from a different view. And what it seems like what you've done for several of these people is exactly that. Instead of just treating the job at the Wingstop like most people would treat it, it's an entry level job, it's a paycheck, it's nothing extravagant, right? It's not something that's going to get me clout for. Believe me, man, that's what most people think when they think, I got a job at Wingstop. But what you've given this person is you've given them perspective, right? Don't treat this like just any other job. Treat it like it's something that you want to do to the best of your abilities, right? And the result of that was them getting promoted to this management position where they went from making a few dollars an hour to making 3x that. That's a big deal. One of my early mentors here in Arizona, Bob Klein. This guy's a Chad. He used to run a whole bunch of the Bally fitness centers all over the world, right? Or at least all over here in the United States. And then even in his retirement, he was managing the Scottsdale Community College Fitness Center. One morning, I walked in during my internship, and he was cleaning the men's restroom. One of our seniors, we were a common outpatient destination for cardiac rehab patients. The geriatric population, senior population. And one of the gentlemen there had an accident, a bad accident, as in like he pooped all over the place, and he tried to clean it, and he made an even bigger mess. And I got there, I get there pretty early, but Bob's already there, and he's doing all the cleaning himself. And I told him, Bob, why are you doing that? You have better things to do. Let me, the intern, take care of it. And he told me, Jay, just because I am the whatever his position was, like the general manager of this place, doesn't put me below doing this kind of work. Right? Because if I don't set the example, how can I expect other people to follow me? Perspective. Right? And so he turned something that most other people would find demeaning into something valuable. That's what you offer these people, Jonathan. You give them perspective, which is why they extract so much value out of it, which is, like Will said, probably reframe those things as, they're not small things, because they obviously mean a lot to these people whose lives you affected.
So the guy I was telling you about, so recently he asked me to do him a favor, right? And I'm not gonna get into too many details, but he's in some legal trouble at the moment, right? And he had asked me to write him a character report of him for his lawyer. And I wrote to the judge, telling him that, or telling the judge that, my coworker, I oversee him, I do his training, right? I mentor him, right? I was telling the judge, he's telling me he's changed. He's telling me that he wants to change his life. I was telling the judge that he is doing well, right? He's excelling in his work, right? And and that was just the essence of that letter, right? I get a call later from a lawyer saying that, Jonathan, your letter single-handedly brought down 4 years of prison to 3 months. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy, right? That I was able to, impact this guy's life, right? And I feel bad because the last time I talked to him was actually Monday, 2 days ago. So I took him out. I said, hey, you're gonna be eating shit for a while, so we're gonna go, take you to get some nice barbecue, dude, right? And then
That's
I
cool.
don't drink, but we went bar hopping, right? He was trying to pick up some chicks before he gets the slammer. I don't partake in that, but I was like his little wingman, right? I did it because I felt like in a way I was responsible for him. That's how I felt, right? Because I spent the most time with him. He's been a good guy to me, right? And so that's what I did. And the last text that he had, it was like early in the morning, and I was up in the gym. He sends me a text, Jonathan, thank you for everything you did, right? And then I immediately respond back to him. But I know he didn't respond back to me at all. I think it's because at that point he surrendered his phone, right?
Yeah.
But like that was the last thing I saw from him, and I probably might not see him for another 3 months. But
Well, that might be the first thing he sees when he gets his phone back.
It's a beautiful story,
How
man.
cool would that be?
He he said, thank you. The only thing he said was thank you for everything you've done for me, right? And I sent like 3 text messages, and I'm still waiting on my response. It might be 3 months late, but 3 months late is better than not receiving one at all.
Yeah.
Do you know where he's at? Would you be able to visit him? Is that allowed? Is that possible? Is that within your power levels?
Well, I think so. It is not of my business to go into other people's lives, right? I think that's a little bit disingenuous if I got involved.
What's
but
disingenuous? Explain to me what disingenuous is.
So I don't like gossiping too much. I don't like entering people's right. I don't like entering people's lives when I'm not part of that storyline that they're involved in. I think that's disingenuous if I put my nose everywhere, right?
You wrote a letter that
Yeah.
changed his.
You are part of the story, my friend.
You're part of the story.
You change the directionality of that person's life so much so, right? So much so that a judge who probably had no idea about this person's character, right? You affected that judge's perspective of this gentleman so much that you turned a 3-year sentence into a 3-month sentence. You are part of that. You're part of that story, my friend. You're part of that story.
You can take that knowledge and do with it what you will. You can say like, hey, what I did was the perfect amount of stuff that I can do and stuff that I will do. And you could also say like, hey, I'm interested in maybe like showing some interest in like further. Like one thing that I've had a lot of friends that have been in concrete boxes before, and one thing that they appreciate is information and attention and like just relevance from the outside world. So like if like people appreciate letters, people appreciate visits, and like that's kind of a bell curve statement. So some people might fall on the left or the right side of the bell curve, but generally speaking, people appreciate other people thinking about them and putting energy towards them. Like when your mom texts you and is like, hey Jonathan, I love you. Or like when you text your mom and you're like, hey mom, I love you, just like out of the fucking blue. By the way, shout out to Sami. Make sure you guys tell your mom and dad that you love them. Fucking back straight, elbows sharp, all that good stuff. But like when you reach out to people and you say like, hey, just so you know, I was thinking of you, I was giving you some of my energy, like you're occupying space in my mind, here's some attention, you know, you're a valid human being and you matter, right? People generally like that, in a large sweeping
Yeah.
statement. So, you know, do with that information what you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
But like if you were to make an attempt to visit this guy or write him a letter or like or I don't fucking know, like maybe again, you're the best judge, of where you fit into this situation, but like I would say um approaching it from the perspective of like, oh, I'm not a major player character, probably not necessarily the case, because you made a major move and you reduced 48 months to 4. So that's like you did a 90% drop there, bro. If that was on a chart, that'd be a big ass fucking red candle, you know, of jail time served. So
Yeah.
like something worth considering. What's your thoughts, Jay?
I do have a hard out at 6, but I'll leave you guys with this.
Okay, doke.
In relation to this story,
Uh-huh.
if I were to put myself in that gentleman's position, and the person who had that kind of impact in my life actually, like, they don't have to do anything else, right? Like, I'm putting myself in his shoes in the way that I would think of it. I already owe this person so much for writing a glowing character report for me. They're reduced 48 to 4 months. I already owe them a great debt of gratitude, and they don't have to do anything else. If I now see that person throughout this 4-month stint take the time out of their busy schedule to come and visit me still to check up on me, that would certainly make my day. It would certainly make the 4 months that I would have to spend in that jail or prison a lot less like hell. So I'll leave you with that. That's just my perspective if I try to put myself in that position. But I think you would be effectuating that person's life in an even more positive manner if you actually did go to visit him. So, all right, gang.
We'll see you, Agent J.
Great.
Agent J, thank
Take
you for
care.
joining us. For the folks at home,
Absolutely.
you guys can find Agent J in the Degen Roundtable. Scan that Telegram chat. Thanks for joining, Broski. We appreciate you being
Take care,
here.
fellas.
Go
Have a
ahead
good
and
night. Bye-bye.
fly away. Love you. Bye. Alrighty. Ooh, look at this. I got to redo the cameras because it's time to redo cameras. So there we go. Bam! Look at that. Fucking Mr. Producer on the fly. Shout out to Mrs. McKinnon from the Degen Roundtable, teaching me everything I know about producing. So there we go. But yeah, dude, like I think you could really make an impact in this person's life, and by doing those specific actions, but in a broad scope. Like if you take this and you take it down to the first principles and you zoom out to a 30,000 foot view, the way that you make a difference in people's life is by doing things that they think is valuable. And how do you figure out if something's valuable or not? Like I asked you earlier, what is value? Value is something that someone thinks inside of their head that gives them some sort of thingamajigger. Like this glass of beer is valuable to me because I like drinking. It's not valuable to you because you don't, right? So like it means more to me than it does to you. Now, some person who's like starving to death, they're like, oh shit, that's fucking 100 calories in there. Like this will keep me from dying. Like it'll be way more valuable to that person than it will be to either me or you. So like the way that you determine what other people like is you have to put yourself in their shoes and take some educated guesses and some inferences to be like, okay, what is the stuff that this person likes? How should I act if I want to further my relationship with this person? You know what I mean? So like if it means something to you, then that's how you make more out of it. So very good, very good. Thank you, Jemmy. We appreciate that. So does all this make sense, Jonathan?
Yeah, I mean, I think the hard thing for me is I'm just trying to navigate, my place in the world, right? You know, the impact that I have on people. But yeah, I think it's a start. You know, it gives me a place to begin, right? I'm happy to have this conversation, and then it actually gives me an incentive now to go visit him in the next few weeks, right? I think because I haven't really thought of that, right? I was like, 3 months is not too long, 90 days, right?
Have you
But
ever been in a box for 3 months, bro?
I've been grounded before, locked in my room.
Oh no!
Right? Oh shit.
Yeah. Ooh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, I've never been locked in a box. Little goody two shoes over here.
There you go.
But like I think I know what it'd be like. I think the closest I've been to prison was moving out and then living in my single dorm by myself. I think that's the closest I've been to prison, right?
Mm.
You know, like the people around me, you know, I know they're there. The college students, but I don't care about them, right?
Why
doing
don't
my
you care
own
about
thing.
them? Hold on.
Huh?
Why don't you care? Why don't you care about them?
In the
Because
dorms?
they're not interesting.
Yeah,
They're not doing anything for you, right?
Yeah.
So like they probably don't care about you. So do you want that to be the case? If you do want that to be the case, then keep doing the things you're doing. If you don't want that to be the case, what you do is you take like a slice of pie or something, or maybe 2 slices of pie, and you walk up, like knock on their door, like, "What's up, bro? I've got extra pie here. Would you like one? My name's Jonathan, by the way. I'm over right over here." And then they're like, "Oh, I'm allergic to pie, but thank you." You know, or they're like, "Oh, yes, give me this pie." Oh, and they eat the pie. Or they're like, "Who the fuck are you? Get out of my face." And they slam the door in your face. And it's like, "Ah, damn, I've been rejected. I guess I have to go eat 2 slices of pie now." What a fucking pity. Right?
Well, I had I guess I had the negative floor where everyone was a frat party boy. And I was
That's
like,
not negative, that's positive.
No.
Right?
Like I think that was a little bit too degenerate for me. You know?
Mm.
I'm trying to pass my classes. Like I didn't have a lot of time when I was going to school. Like I didn't have a lot of time. Right? I
Bro,
was
everyone has
working.
the same amount of time.
No.
What are you
Listen.
talking about?
No. I was working.
You didn't give yourself enough time. That's
No,
what it is.
I was okay. I went to school 5 days a week, and I was working 5 days a week. Like I didn't have any
Okay.
time. And oh my God.
You didn't allow yourself to have time. You shouldn't say, "Okay, I gotta pause you again," right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't say, "I don't have time," because Elon Musk has the same 24 hours that you do, right? Jeff Bezos, Jeffrey Dahmer, fucking Jeff Schwarzenegger. I don't fucking know. Everyone has the same amount of time. Everyone. It's what do you decide to do with your time? And so what that means is like, are you in charge or is time in charge? If you say I don't have the time, then time's in charge. If you say I specifically schedule my time for specific purposes, then you're in charge. You know what I mean? So like again, it's similar to the other thing we were talking about earlier. It's about framing. It's like I am setting up my life in order to get these things done, and in order to do that, I have to sacrifice these other valuable things. And time is not the determining factor. It's me. It's my choices. It's my decisions. It's the path that I'm choosing to walk, and I'm being very deliberate about that because I'm a sovereign individual. So like the more power that you give to time into like a clock on the wall, the more you take away from yourself. So and
Well,
the more that you own it, then it's like, okay, now we're getting somewhere, and it's like, why am I doing these things? It's like I'm chasing a specific goal and I need to get there, and I understand that there's sacrifices. So again, framing techniques. I'm very big into framing, very big into hypnosis, salesmanship, people skills, all that stuff. So this is just me on my soapbox, but
okay.
continue.
It's funny that you're saying that because in terms of framing, I didn't get to finish my thought. I was going to school, right? Trying like I didn't want to hang out with the boys up in the frats
Correct.
because right I was working to buy some pulse chain.
There you go.
No, but listen. Like
That's good.
I
So
have
I'm only paying
like
attention to whether Jonathan is in charge or whether someone else is in charge. And because you've shifted the framing to Jonathan in charge, I don't care what you're talking about, right? I don't care if you're buying pulse chain, if you're buying strippers, if you're buying candy, if you're buying cocaine, if you're buying a fucking Jeep Wrangler, right? That doesn't matter to me. That's your business. The thing that I'm focused on is Jonathan doing what he wants to do, or is Jonathan a slave? right?
Uh-huh.
So because you've adopted the mindset of Jonathan's getting his shit done, then I'm like, fuck yeah, my homies are winning.
So, like I was I was spending so much time working, right? Um,
Good.
that I had a different college experience, right? And so in a way, I kind of saw college as just a piece of paper. I just needed this piece of paper to tell me that I'm able to work. No, I'll be honest with you, right?
A really long permission slip.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It took me 5.5 years to obtain. But I was so it took me 5.5 years to obtain
No. Is it worth it now?
That's debatable. I gotta wait till I get my next job. That's debatable.
So the answer is not yet.
Not yet. But so I haven't shared this with anyone, but the few people that know about this.
Just so you know, there's 13 people watching us live right now, so it's not just you and me. This is on YouTube. This is forever. So
yeah, I know. I have to immortalize this because it is true. Right?
All right, let's go. Let's hear it.
And so when I was graduating, right? I sold all my admission tickets because at the school that I went to, there's so many people that they can't have all the families see their kid graduate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all the parents, siblings, aunts and uncles, right? Grandma and grandpa, right? And so I was so dissatisfied with how engineering went, right? And how I received the education, right? That I decided, hey, I'm not going to walk, right? I'm not going to have that graduation picture. And, in a way, I feel like I kind of robbed my parents of that, that moment, right? And so what I did instead was I threw a party, right? I said, okay, I'm going to sell all my tickets, right?
Hell yeah.
And the people that helped me, right? The people that helped me succeed, I gave it to them. I said, hey, some of them, they're DACA, right? They've been brought here to America. DACA is the dream, undocumented dreamers. So their parents had illegally took them when they were kids to raise them here. And so some of them were DACA students.
Okay.
And so I said, hey, I think your family deserves this admission ticket more than I do, because they sacrificed their entire lives, they risked their lives so that you can change your entire family tree, right? I gave a couple people my tickets because how impactful they've assisted me through school.
That's beautiful. I like that.
Yeah. And so I didn't walk, right? I remember receiving text messages like, hey, Jonathan, where are you? I want to sit with you. I want a picture with you. I said, I'm not there, right? I told them I'm not there because I feel like I don't deserve to be there. I have the degree, right? I have my degree, right? But I'm not I don't find pride in it, all right? And so the week after, before everyone moved back home to whatever state they were from, I threw a party, right? I invited everyone that had helped me, not my friends. I helped everyone that helped me go through school, right? All the projects, all the homework, right? The person that sat next to me, I invited them to this party, right? At a restaurant, a really nice restaurant, right? And from that time, right? And this was last year. I had a bunch of profit from learning from you guys, right? And I took my earnings, and everyone at the party was like, "Oh, this is so nice," and they didn't pay a single cent, right? And this was all taken care of by me. Right?
Sure.
This was like north of $2,000 or something, right? It's kind of
a good party. That was a great party,
right? And so I don't drink, but I bought alcohol, I bought wine, I bought like whatever they wanted, right? What I said, you guys order whatever the fuck you want, right? And I took care of that, but everyone was telling me how I've impacted them, right? And I feel like that was my graduation moment. Those people telling me how I've impacted them, how I've, you're right. You guys touched on it. How I changed their perspective. They were telling me how they, like they were kind of, that graduation party was like a recount of, how they met me, how the relationship has progressed. And from that moment, right, when they were sharing stories with me during that party, from that moment, that's the moment I felt like I graduated college, right? I felt like I was doing something, right? I earned it,
That's the
from
important one.
from that point. It wasn't me walking the graduation stage. And also, like, in a way, I didn't pay a single cent. It was all pure profit from the trading that we do here at the DRT, dude. Like, I'll be honest with you, like I was so happy that during that time, we had a bunch of green candles because I bought back in as well when it did dip from the profits. But like I was so happy that I graduated in that fashion rather than me walking on the stage. I think that was something that I kind of hold on. Even though it was recent, but like I think about that all the time. But I also think that I do feel bad that in a way I did rob my parents of the only kid that went to college that did not take a little picture on the stage.
So, man, there's so many things that I could hit on. I like what you did. Do you want my honest feedback, bro?
Go ahead, yeah.
You could have done both.
Could have done both,
Could have done
maybe.
both,
But honestly, like I hated the institution that I went to. I hated like the engineering department. That I didn't feel like I belonged.
You want
So
some more? You want some more feedback?
go ahead, Dad. Go ahead.
The graduation ceremony, you feel bad because you say you robbed your parents of the experience. You walking on that stage wouldn't have been for you, it would have been for them. And so like you didn't give them like a gift that you could have, you know? Like when you enjoyed the party that you had, the party was for you. And you had a great time and it was awesome. And tons of people came up and they said like, hey bro, fucking great stuff. And then like during the graduation ceremony, there were people texting you, they're like, hey Jonathan, where are you? It's kind of like sometimes we do things for ourselves, sometimes we do things for other people. You know, I love my mother, I love my father. They're in a religion that I was raised. It's not necessarily the religion that I've come to like dedicate my life to. But like when I visit them, I go to the ceremonies that they go to, and I do it for them because like I'm around them, and it's like this is the way that like it makes them feel good for me to like do the things that are expected of me is the wrong word, but like I go to the services for their sake because I know that it makes them feel better and it makes them have peace in their mind. And sometimes I do things for me. Like when like when I hop on the podcast, I do it for me and I do it for the community and I do it for tons of reasons. Or like sometimes I'm just super selfish and I only do things for myself. I don't do them for anyone else. Um the point is that like you don't have to get caught up in the nuances and the weeds of like, oh, which is my actual graduation? Is it like the party that I throw for myself? Is it the ceremony I go at so my parents can get the picture of me with the diploma? It's like it's all everything is as valuable as everyone decides to make it. So like to you in your head, it's like, this is a waste of time and a bunch of bullshit. But I know that my parents are gonna like it, so like maybe I'll do it. Or like, or you could be like, my parents hate it and I hate it, so I'm not gonna fucking do it. Or you could be like, oh, this party's awesome, and there's all these people that are telling me like, hey, I appreciate all these things that you've done for me, and yada yada yada, and you could continue doing them. So like, you don't have to. I suppose the thing that I'm describing to you is like you can give yourself permission to color outside of the box. It's like you don't have to live in like I only get one kind of graduation ceremony, and it's either I do theirs or I do mine. It's like, nah, you can do everything you want. You can do all of it. You can do none of it. Um, things of that nature. And I'm not saying that your decision was wrong or your decision was right. What I'm saying is that like you can think outside of the perspective that you currently have and apply that to other things in life moving forward. So it's like, I think you did great. I think you did awesome because like you threw an awesome party and you had fun, and like everyone showed up and they were like, "Hey, bro, like you made a difference in my life. You did this, that, or the other thing, or like you helped me, or I helped you, or like we have this great relationship," and you celebrated all that. So I think that that's the important thing that you should focus on, and then also just kind of think outside the box when it comes to um like what does stuff mean to other people. You know what I mean? Does that does that make sense? Is this all gobbledygook? I am like
Mhm.
4 or 5 beers deep right now, so I apologize if my philosophy is a little bit lubricated. So
No, it's all good. Yeah, yeah. Um, well, I always think of things in the perspective of other people as well. Like if I were to make an action, I always try to see, like I always ask myself, like if I do this, how does this affect the next person, right? Um, and then there I go a little bit deeper. Am I being selfish? Am I being selfless? Um, am I doing something because it only benefits me? And or like, am I stepping on someone's shoes, right? So like these are the things I think about when I do when I just do anything I do, right? Whether I'm
yeah,
working or
yeah, yeah.
going, just going about my day, right? Um, I do think about those things.
What's hard transition?
Yeah,
I want to ask you what some of your other questions are and what they were. But before I do that, I want to do a round of chat shoutouts
that's
because
fine.
there's
Go
been a
ahead.
lot of people that have been talking. So we'll cover the chat shoutouts. We'll cover some of the ideas and the thoughts that people have had. And then I can't remember. I know that you told me the questions that you had, and I can't remember any of them. I've got my little notepad up on the side of the screen, but it's all like a bunch of things that I was thinking of, and I didn't write down any of the things that you had said. So that's let's do a round of chat shoutouts. We'll cover all the thoughts from the people in the chats, and then I would remind everyone that if you type in the word hashtag shrimp tech, like it says down on the scrolling chyron below, then you guys have a chance to win one of these fantastic Degen Roundtable fancy schmancy merch stickers. And forgive my hands, I did just get off a tower earlier, but I've got a fucking fat stack of Degen Roundtable merch stickers. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that everyone that types fucking hashtag shrimp tech in the comments below, you're gonna get one of these Degen Roundtable stickers. And when I do the little giveaway thing, I guess I'll bring up that on the share screen thingamajigger. Let's see, share screen giveaway tool, StreamYard, hashtag Shrimp Tech. Right now, we've got 3 entries in the Shrimp Tech in the Shrimp Tech world. So there's going to be 3 people that for sure guaranteed get a Degen Roundtable sticker. So that's freaking awesome. I'm literally going to. I've got these little letters right here that I'm going to put these stickers inside of, and I'm going to mail them to you. So if you guys if you send me an address for you or a loved one or one of your friends or a PO or an anonymous PO box or whatever the hell, I will send people these shrimp tech stickers. So type hashtag shrimp tech in the comments and I'll send you stickers. I've also got some special magical stickers that I'm not going to show you guys. And then here's one of the packages. Here's another package. I've got so many magical stickers. Here's another. Actually, I'll show you these guys. This one's pretty cool. This is Richard Hart versus the SEC. We've got 1 for Richard Hart and 0 for SEC. So that's pretty fucking cool. That's one of the magical stickers that you could be winning. But there's also some more. There's some fancy fun shaped ones over here. But anyways, type in hashtag shrimp tech in the comments and you will definitively get a Degen Roundtable sticker and you might possibly get a fancy schmancy sticker. I'll do a couple draws later on using the StreamYard giveaway tool. But that's what we've got for now. So let's go ahead and roll back up to the beginning. We've got some people that have joined us here. Shout out to Nate the Great. Nate the Great has joined us. He says, "Howdy, gents. Howdy to you too, sir. Mr. Nate the Great. Glad that we could have you with us today and and joining us in the show." And then Games by Casey has joined us. He's typed in hashtag shrimp tech. Also, good evening, friends. I have missed catching these live. Yes, we miss you too, Mr. Games by Casey. I would love to see you on the next Whiskey Wednesday where we drop the StreamYard into the comments. But everyone's got their times where they're doing things and they're busy and things. So shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Games by Casey, one of the strongest, coolest dudes in the pulse chain space. He runs a gym. He does cool, awesome things, flipping pizzas, so that way he can get some extra cash to DCA on into the pulse chain. But we love seeing you, Mr. Games by Casey. We're also joined by Mr. Hex Glenn. Hex Glenn says, "Hi, DGens. Hello to you too, Mr. Hex Glenn. You had some other chats later on that I want to cover as well, but this is the one that I starred, so that way I know that you have joined us since last I gave people the opportunity." Let's see what else we've got. Oh, that was Games by Casey. Next, we've got Mr. Hexkin Lost in Asia. What is the word, DGens? To which I responded, hashtag shrimp tech. He is Mr. Hexkin Lost in Asia is here for the tech. Hold the shrimp. So there you go, broski. You don't have to have the shrimps. Nobody needs shrimps. Nobody needs tech. There you guys go. We love to see it. So Jemmy had a couple thoughts. Mr. Mix Jazole had some thoughts as well. So this is something I wanted to read by Jemmy. People mature, and sometimes we need to leave people who bring no value to your life or want to progress. That's absolutely right. It's just one of the sad facts of life. Is that like your friends who are awesome and super cool and things, like sometimes you will move on to bigger and better things, and they will stay where they're at. You don't need to hate them. You just need to keep chasing the stuff that you like. We've also been joined by Mr. Mix, aka Jazole. I do the things for people that I don't know more often than I do, or more often than those I know more often now. Okay, so yeah, so what he's saying is that like he does cool things for like surprise people more so than people that he loves and cares about, and like that's a really satisfying feeling. So shout out to you, Mr. Mix Jazole. I would say like doing cool things for everybody is awesome. So I super duper approve of that. Good to see you, man. Miss Amber Simon also said, "I live in Texas alone, 1,500 miles away from my family and friends. I made a choice to live and thrive. It is 100% my choice to level up and pick who has access to me." Shout out to you, Amber Simon. You're absolutely right about that. That's a long way to wait. That's a long way to be away from your family and friends. So that's good that you are. It's good that you are taking that ball and running with it. We love to see it. And then Mr. Hex Glenn again has said good insights from Jonathan and Agent J. Yes, absolutely. They are some wise people that we have on the show tonight. Mr. Hex Glenn has joined us in the shrimp tech. So has the Beached Whale. What's up, Beached Whale? Good to see you, broski. So shout out to all of you guys that are typing in shrimp tech in the comments below. Everyone that types in shrimp tech, you definitely get a free DGen Roundtable sticker. So what I need you guys to do in order to get a DGen Roundtable sticker is I have to have a place to send this, right? So I'm going to put it in one of these fancy schmancy envelopes, and then I have to send it to you. So, for example, it will look exactly like this. I will pull the envelope out of the sleeve. I will take this fancy schmancy DGen Roundtable sticker. I will put it inside of the sleeve, right? And then I got to put one of these fancy stamps on the sleeve, and then I have to like type an address somewhere or like write an address on it. So I don't know where to send this. So what I need you guys to do, if you type Shrimp Tech into the comments and you want to get your Shrimp Tech sticker, then what I need you to do is go to t.me/Will Stevenson and just send me an address. It can be an anonymous address. It can be an address of your friend. It could be your own address. I don't care. But send an address to ship it to this Telegram address. It is my address right there, and I will mail you a fancy schmancy DGen Roundtable sticker. And whoever wins this fucking cool ass drawing that we got going on, you guys will get a fancy schmancy secondary or maybe even a third sticker as well. I'm feeling pretty generous. I got like 600 stickers over here that I got to send out to people. So shout out to all you guys. I'm going to bring up the share screen again. We've got 6 people that have joined us in this StreamYard giveaway. So shout out to all 6 of you in there with your shrimp tech stuff. I'm going to if the DGen Roundtable one wins, then I'm just going to eliminate that from the pool. But yeah, we've got some cool stuff going on there. So I will do that drawing here at the 1 hour 45 point, and then I'll do another one at the very end of the show. So there will be 2 people that get an extra sticker, and there will be however many people send in the send to the hashtag thing. They will all get Degen Roundtable stickers at the very least. For interacting with us, you get a piece of mail. So that's pretty cool. Is that backwards? Oh no, it's upside down. There we go. Degen Roundtable. So shout out to all you guys in the chats. Shout out to all you guys in the comments. We fucking love each and every one of you. So I've got a shit ton of stickers that I need to get rid of. So there you go. And if you don't want to dox yourself, that's fine. I can hold on to these stickers and I can give them to you in person whenever next I see you. So we've got Mr. Fast Abdul, who has joined us as well. Gimp Tech, Pimp Tech. He's here for the tech. Unfortunately, Mr. Fast Abdul, it is Shrimp Tech. So if you don't type in the hashtag Shrimp Tech, then StreamYard giveaway tool does not consider you having put the thing in there. So I also need to I need to put, let's see. I need to put a ooh, we can just do this one. All right, yeah, we'll do that for the audio for the drawing later. So there we go. Normally Crypto Black Sheep does this really cool like mooing and air horn going and other things. It's a great audio clip for whenever he's doing his giveaways on his stream. So it's good to see. And Pulse Jitsu with Fast Abdul says that he likes his better. I agree. Pimp Tech and Gimp Tech are both better than Shrimp Tech. But unfortunately, the way that the tech works, because we love the tech and we're here for the tech, the way that the StreamYard tech works is if you don't type the word and then it doesn't count you for the giveaway. So that's perfectly fine. You don't have to. You don't have to do it. I'm more than happy to hand people these stickers in real life whenever I meet you. You're just gonna have to remind me because I will probably forget. But we're gonna get some stickers to everybody, and in the meantime, we're gonna talk about some things. So stand by for a giveaway in the next 13 minutes. But Mr. Jonathan, you had a couple questions. Have you asked all of the questions that you wanted to ask of both myself?
Yeah, we actually went over them. Yeah.
Oh, we covered all of them. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Well, fucking A. Where did we leave off in our conversation?
It was just me graduating, and then
okay,
the framing of how I viewed the graduation, right?
Okay. You wanted to talk about like a lot of your life choices and how they affect you and things to consider and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So like, do you think that the path that you're going on is a good path?
So
that's what I want to ask you.
You know, what's interesting is like, I really do think a lot of the things that I do were just based on circumstance. Like I just happened to land here.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until recently that I actually thought about it. It's like, you know, what did I really want to do? Right. And honestly, the more that I think about it, I've always wanted to be a teacher. Right. But one of the reasons that I was preventing myself from being a teacher was, when I was going through high school and middle school, and even college, everyone was complaining, or all the teachers, they were complaining, oh, I'm not getting paid. Right. Yeah.
Wait. I'm not getting paid. It's your own fucking fault, teacher.
But also, like, when I look at it, right? Like, I also didn't grow up with a lot of means. So I could kind of resonate with that. I was like, no, if I was going to do something, I needed something as like an insurance policy, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I saw engineering, right? To me, it wasn't just something I wanted to do. Maybe it's not what I really want to do. But I just saw the engineering degree as an insurance policy where if I don't figure it out, then I can fall back on this, right? So that's how I kind of saw it. And honestly, it's like I really don't know where to begin. Like earlier I was telling you, like I was having trouble with finding my next job. I've had a bunch of interviews, right? I've had second, third round interviews, right? But I think that's the thing that kills me. Being honest with myself. Maybe I gotta start lying. But I think that was one of the things that were preventing me. And also the bartending. Like I never decided for myself that I wanted to be in the restaurant and have a restaurant career. and that I do have one because of my friend. You know, I had a call from a friend that said, "Hey, do you just want to work with me?" And I said, "I need a job. Yes, I'll do it." Right. If I wasn't doing that, maybe I'd be doing some minimum wage job somewhere. I would have been like some technician, maybe. I would have, you know, maybe picked up a trade. Who knows, right? But this is the kind of the path that, or it's the destiny that the path I chose had led me down. But in a way, I'm very happy that I have all these skills, right? All, like, you know, if you were to frame it in a different perspective, um, I am happy that I have these unique skills. I am happy that all these skills are different, right? I'm happy that you know, the principal foundation I have, how I conduct my life, was able to positively allow me to grow in these fields as well, right? So I'm happy that, you know, I am where I am, but I'm also disappointed that uh, in a way I feel kind of lost. I didn't choose this path, right? I just landed.
Yeah, you did.
No, I mean, in a way, yes,
You
but
did. Are you disappointed in yourself because you didn't consciously choose this path? Your actions led you here, right?
they did, yeah.
Yeah. So you did choose it. You just didn't know you were choosing it. You know, is that fair to say?
Well, I think so. I guess the biggest driving point was money.
Yeah.
I mean, in the simplest answer, engineering is an insurance policy for me,
Sure.
and then this bartending was just quick cash.
Uh-huh.
So that was like honestly the driving factor.
So neither one of those solve the existential crisis that is, who is Jonathan, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, that's a tough one. I haven't figured out who is Will Stevenson. Just kidding, I have, right? It's super easy. I just go
But
with the flow.
you know, going back to the story I was telling you earlier about me impacting the guy that went to prison, that brought me like that made me the happiest I've ever been, right? Just to hear that from his lawyer.
Yeah.
Like I've reduced the sentence to 3 months.
Changed
right?
his life.
I have. Yeah, right.
Mhm.
So like I think you know, part of me, you know, I was telling you earlier, I've always wanted to be a teacher. I think that's still there, you know, because, you know, in a way I was mentoring him. And you know, I was also mentoring the people around me, but not in the way that I've intended, right? Or not in the way that I've envisioned to teach people, right?
Surprise,
So-
bro. That's how life goes.
Yeah, but like, yeah, honestly, you know, if I were to go back into school, maybe I would have been a teacher, or you know, maybe I'll go back to school. Who knows? To get that teaching credential, but that is something I do find in, you know, pride in. I do enjoy. You know, if you know who is Jonathan, I would like the title, right? You know, let me change my little headline over here.
Yeah.
You know, you know, who is Jonathan? Jonathan's a mentor. He's a teacher, right? He's also a friend. I think that's what I really want to be called.
Be a friend. What does that mean? What does do you think that you're satisfying that already?
You know, that's a tough question because I'll be honest with you, like I don't talk to anyone anymore.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're literally talking right now,
What?
and there's 10 people watching. You know, so like,
yeah, I'm sharing my life.
yeah, it's
like,
kind of one way friendship. I'm gonna be honest, like streaming is one way friendship. It's like we can interact with them, and they can sort of interact with us through the chats, but like for the most part, it's like it's us doing all the work. Not work is the wrong way to put it. It's us doing all the sharing and the friendshipping, and like they get to receive it, but like we don't know anything about people that are watching us other than what they
yeah,
tell us. It's like you got friends. You're making a difference right now, bro. There's 10 people.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
10 people that are looking at the two of us having this conversation. So like,
Well, I'm
you're
happy
good.
that they're engaged, you know?
Yeah. They're sticking around. They're here.
You know, like me being a friend. So like I find joy and pride in making someone's day, right? Whether I can say something, right? Whether it be a compliment, whether I can teach them something. Um, that's the thing I find the most joy in, right?
Mhm.
Earlier you were asking, you know, what providing value is or what is value, right? And that's the thing I do value, right? Um, you know, like knowledge accumulation on my own, you know, I enjoy that. But I also don't like holding back and not sharing it, right? I like to share the things that I know, because I I think it is disingenuous when people that know things say, "Hey, go figure it out on your own," because you know that
Is
that
it?
period. Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Okay. I want to challenge that, but it sounds like you're on a flow of thought process. So you can continue.
so I think it's disingenuous because, like, you know, if someone has beneficial information that helps everyone, right? And they withhold it. Um, and honestly, like you're right, it depends on what it is. But if you have someone and you force someone to rediscover what someone already knows, I think that's just, you know, that's disingenuous because it hinders a person's productivity. It hinders a person's development. Because what if they don't reach, you know, the knowledge, right? What if they don't understand and they don't have the capability of, you know, finding the answer on their own, right? Withholding information is problematic for not, you know, for the individual that can't attain it on their own. So that's how I kind of view it.
Okay. I want to challenge your thought about it being disingenuous. Right? So what is disingenuous? So when people say go figure it out, there's a couple things that could be happening there. If I give you a bowl of pistachios and a pistachio nut cracker and I say, "Hey, crack your own pistachios." You will probably enjoy those pistachios more because you worked for them than if I just gave you a bowl full of the nuts that I've cracked or that someone else has cracked, right? Like, do you like pistachios? Are they an okay nut? Are they decent? Are they good? Have you ever had them before?
I'm allergic.
You're allergic. Oh fuck. Oh, bad example. Okay.
I thought
Bad
we
fucking
went over
example.
this like 2 weeks ago.
We probably
We were
did.
going over
You'll
this.
have to forgive me, bro. I literally forget everything, like
It's all good.
pretty much all the time. Okay. But do you understand the point that
Right,
I'm
right,
making?
yeah, no, I get you.
So like
But
let's say
that's the
there is
thing.
item that you like that you work for versus that item that you like that you don't work for. If you find $100 on the ground, will you treat it, or not $100? If you find $10,000 on the ground, will you treat it differently than $10,000 that you worked like 40 hours to get? You know, like would you treat those two $10,000 as differently? Would you treat, like, if your parent gives you a car versus if you go and you earn a car for yourself? Like the replace the analogy with anything here, right? The point that I want to drive at is that things that people sacrifice value for, they generally appreciate more and they value inside their own head because they've paid for it more so than things they don't. Taxes. There's a good example, right? The government. The government doesn't do a damn thing to earn your money, right? And they spend it like crazy. Whereas a business that has to go out and entice you by making fancy billboards and creating a cool product and getting you to walk in the door and spend your money, they care a lot more about your money and they spend it way more efficiently than the government does. It just says, like, fucking give it to me or I'll kill you, or something like that. You know, um when a person says, like, go do your own work, right? It could be because they're lazy and they don't want to, like, spend the time to do it for you, or it could be because they know that if they give you the sauce for free, then you're not going to do a fucking thing with it, right? The book Sci-Vive is free. Everybody can read it. Everybody can go and find the value that is within Richard Hart teachings. Most people don't do it. But I guarantee you that if Sci-Vive, if people had to pay $300 to get a copy of Sci-Vive, then the people that actually read it and spent the money towards it would value it a whole lot more than the massive amount of people that read this book for free simply because it exists. So like, there is something to be said about making a person sacrifice something in order to get something. And there's also something to be said for like, that's the only thing I wanted to challenge you on. It could very much be that like when people say, oh yeah, go do your own research, they're like saying that I don't want to do the work for you when you're not going to appreciate it. Or they could be lazy, or they could just, be dismissive. The point is, like, when people spend the time explaining things to you, or spending the time teaching you, it's like they're making an investment in you. So like, if that investment doesn't produce a return, then it's a then it's a then it's a
Net negative.
liability. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, there is something to be said about like the 1% of people that take your advice that actually do something with it are the people that you want to focus on, right? Like think of the Degen Roundtable. How often we have Whiskey Wednesdays and we put out that StreamYard link and we say, hey, like, if you want to come chat with us, then fucking click on this link. You know how many people are watching a lot of those times? Like a fucking 100. You know how many people click on that link? Like 3. So you get a 3% return on like, if every single watcher clicked that link, we wouldn't be able to handle it. But we know that most people aren't going to take the action because most people do nothing most of the time. So like, when people like invest in others, it's generally for like a very specific purpose, because they know that it's going to produce a result, or it's going to produce a return, or they're going to feel good about it, or something like that. So that's the flip side of the coin that I wanted to make you aware of. It's not disingenuity, it's efficiency. It's like, I want to protect my resources, I want to protect my time and my attention, and I don't want to just throw it out there for everyone to use. I mean, you can, but like, if another example of this is like an employer training an employee, and then the employee quits, and it's like, fuck, we spent 2 weeks training this guy. Like, how many man hours was that? How much like monetary resource is it? And like, it just fucking floats away. It's like, fucking, what have I spent my time doing? So forcing people to put some sort of investment into the process makes it more valuable, and you filter out all the bullshit people anyways. So like, just some food for thought there. That's the thing that I wanted to challenge you about, with disingenuity. And realistically, you shouldn't worry about if someone's being disingenuous. You should only worry about the results. It's like, if I want to kill you, Mr. Jonathan Navarro, and the way that I want to kill you is I want to like make you super fucking wealthy to the point where you can buy everything that you like and you get bored of it, and then you end up like oxidizing your body from too much consumption of air and time, and you die of old age 40 years down the road. Then it doesn't matter if I want to kill you of old age, because I've given you this awesome fucking life in between. So it's like, you should measure the results more so than you measure the intentions, if you want to like have a much better life. You shouldn't care if people are disingenuous or if they're super ingenuous. You should only care about the result that it gives you. It doesn't matter that Hitler wanted to make the world a better place, because he did some pretty bad things, you know? Like, the bad things are the stuff that we measure, not the intention behind it. So anyways, that's my fucking soapbox there, broski. Is any of this like striking a chord? Does any of this make sense?
Well, I think those are like specific instances.
Yeah,
what I
absolutely.
was trying to get at is
They're
like,
probably misinterpreted.
Maybe. Well, what I was trying to get at is like, when people withhold the tools for success, right? Because like, for me, I mean, like, I can't speak for everyone, but I could only speak for myself, right? Like, I think I'm competent enough to understand how, a tool works, for example, right? But if you withhold the information of how to use the tool, I think that would inhibit, just my productivity. What is that? Is that a drill bit? Drill bit. Right?
Nope. This is a sewing awl. So it's got a needle with a hole in it, But what you do is, oh, fiddlesticks, this thing is too tight. Well, anyways, you take the thread. Oh God, it's like tied up in a knot. You take the thread. Theoretically, if I was more prepared, then I would have done so. I have this thread standing by. Anyways, this is a little spool of thread on this sewing awl, right?
Yeah.
What you do is you take the thread, you feed it through that hole. Bam, balam. I can't do it. I'm too drunk. Right? You feed the thread through the needle. Okay, and then you punch. I will use this cardstock as an example. You guys are going to learn how to sew leather today because I'm feeling generous and I'm going to teach you guys some things on how to use tools. This is a stitching awl. You can get these at Walmart. They're like 10 fucking bucks, right? The first thing you do when you're stitching something is you poke a fucking hole through it, right? So I poked a hole through it. There's thread going through this needle. So what I need to do now is I need to pull one side of this thread through the piece of paper. Congratulations. And then I pull the needle out, and the thread's all the way through, right? So now I've got thread on one side, I've got a hole, and I've got my stitching needle on the other side, still attached to the thread. And now what I do is I'm like, okay, I want to make another fucking hole right over here, right? And that's your first stitch. So I poke a hole through it. So now I've got my first thread, the beginner thread, and I've got my new hole that I've produced in this process. I take a little bit of that string.
He disconnected his mic, by the way.
Sound check. Oh no.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay,
No, you're good.
Good. All right. So, yeah, somebody's calling me during the stream, and I forgot that my headset is Bluetooth to my phone, in addition to being on my computer. Anyways, that's not important. All right. So I've made this second hole, and I've still got my string. So now what you do is you take the string, and you go through that little loop, right? Now, what happens when I pull my needle back through this piece of cardstock while there's a string that has gone through the hole? What it will do is that loop will trap the piece of string. So now you've got this little fancy schmancy stitch right here. You see that? Bam. And that's how you fucking sew leather, bro. So then the next thing you do is you just make another hole. Ba-ba. Right? And you take the string and you pull a loop again and you go through that loop. I'm doing a very job of demonstrating this because like the cardstock's flying everywhere. But anyways, you just keep doing that over and over and over again, and you get like a line of stitches in leather. And that's how you sew leather, is with a stitching awl, some wax coated sinew, and a sharp pointy thing that has a single hole in the front of it. So there you go. So now you've learned how to use a tool. Now you can stitch leather. Bazinga. I understand your frustration. People that have tools and the ability to teach people, they should do that, right? You just have to understand that, like, when you go through that process, your time is being consumed. Now, how many people are going to be leather stitchers as a result of this podcast? Probably zero. But like, this exists on YouTube, so you can reference it or whatever the hell. So like there's a lot of things that could theoretically come of this, but probably not. The point is, like, I've consumed my time to give you guys this knowledge that probably nothing's going to come of it as a result. So now if I keep doing this at scale, right? If every single time on the Degen Roundtable I keep doing this, like, hey, this is how you stitch leather, and nothing ever happens of it, then I'm just like, I'm consuming resource. So you just have to be you just have to be aware of that, and you just have to, like, as a person who has knowledge, you have to find people that are interested. And as a person who's interested, you have to give knowledge to the person teaching, or you have to show interest to the person's teaching. It's like a two-part sales process. There's like the mentor and the mentee. And in order for the mentor and the mentee to have like a good, solid relationship with each other, each one has to be doing something that the other person likes. If only one person is doing something that the other person likes, then you have a one-way relationship, right? And eventually it falls apart. If you have the same way, like vice versa, or like if you got a like a half and half sort of thing. The point is, like, if you know somebody who has something valuable that you want, you have to do something valuable for them in order to extract the value from them, like just from a like strictly mathematical perspective. So What are some skills that you want to learn, Mr. Jonathan? What are some of the things that come to mind that other people have been holding out on you with?
Well, nothing at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, so I'll give you an example. Like I was when I was at work, and was my first engineering job. I was overseen by a senior engineer, right? And you know, it's the first time I've ever saw an engineering document base system where they
I don't know what any of that means, and probably neither do the folks at home. Can you explain that real quick?
Yeah, it's just a database and how to navigate it. It's very complicated because this system was not modernized, right?
What is it for simple people? It's just information, right?
It's a bunch of folders, files, how to organize how all the parts and individual pieces of a build. Like, for example, like a car has an engine, right? And that engine has a million parts, right?
Oh,
how
the
to navigate.
assembly and the diagrams and everything. Okay, and all that's stored in big fucking folders. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you had a senior engineer that was watched, like, looking over your shoulder while you were doing this stuff.
No, he was to oversee, like, you know, my work, right? And so every time I had a question, I'm like, you know, I don't know where to locate this. I don't know how to locate X thing, right? Can you show me how to do it, right? So the first time he shows me, right? And then, like, you know, a couple months later, we don't go over, or like, you know, a couple months later, I haven't, I'm still not familiar with the database, right? Because it's so big, right? And then I come back to that same problem I had. And then I just have the repeat question. I'm like, hey, I know we talked about this before. You know, it's been a couple months and I've only gone over it once. Do you mind refreshing me? You know, going over it one more time as a refresher, right? And he says, you know, I'm sorry, Jonathan. I showed you that one time. You need to figure this one out for yourself. And I was like, but, like, you know, the deadlines are due. Like, I need help. I'm literally asking for help so I can, you know, you can enable me to get the job done faster, right? Or on time, right? And he was like, no, it's, you know, figure it out.
Can I dissect this?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
He's a loser that you need to cut out of your life. And, like, if he has knowledge, then you need to extract it. But he's not, that person is not an asset. That person is a liability. So he's one of those people, like we were talking about. Sometimes you have to say goodbye to some of your friends. That dude is someone you got to say goodbye to as quick as possible. You know, it's like,
he's my boss.
He's your boss. You signed up for it. So, like, what are you going to do about it? You know, you can say, like, well, damn, I'm stuck here. Or you can say, like, okay, let me get everything I need from this person because they're a resource, they're a liability, they're not an asset. Okay, they're not someone that you want to keep in your life, I presume, until you're like 60 years old. This is someone that's going to get you from point A to point B. So do the things that are necessary to extract the value in between point A and point B. And then, like, once he has served his usefulness, then he's like, you know, a styrofoam container, after you've eaten all the food inside of it, like, we throw it away. And I'm not to say that your boss is useless. I'm to say that your boss is not useful to you. So you can't give him more credit than what he's worth, and you need to also do the things that you need to do. Now, if he's a calibrated person, right, he would understand that, like, this is how a good boss works in a workplace environment, and this is what a good leader does, and this is what a good mentor does. But if he's just simply not interested, then he's simply not interested. So if you want to extract the information from him, and if you want to do better, then, like, it just depends on how invested you are in this entire process, how much stuff you put into it, and how much you chase and how much you sell. So that's my thoughts on that matter. What do you think?
You know, the worst message he sent me was because I sent him an email. I was like, hey, there's this, you know, this is a different
stream, bro.
Yeah, dude, no, yeah, whatever, dude. I don't work for them anymore. But, like, I think the worst thing I received on an email is, that's unfortunate. I was like, hey,
Okay.
I need,
He just doesn't care. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Cut
was
him out of
like,
your life.
I need assistance. I'm kind of lost. I don't want to break anything, right? This is what I said. Like, I don't want to break anything.
Yeah.
I think I messed up, right? Like, first, I'm full accountability, right?
Sure.
Like, hey, I think I messed up, but I'm not sure. But I stopped it, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I can perform the maintenance, but I just need direction and oversight, so that way I don't mess it up any further, right? This is what I was saying, right?
Yeah.
And everyone makes a mistake. He makes mistakes.
Yeah. I've got a pointer for you if you want to find a more effective way to sell to your boss. But continue your story.
Yeah. And then so I send out this email to my boss. I'm like, hey, I think something's broken. How should I best proceed with this, right? And then the only response that I received through that email is, that's unfortunate, and that's the last I heard of it, right? And then so I went out, and then I found some other engineers to assist me, right? But like, I was like, yo, this guy's supposed to be overseeing and understand, how the system works, right? So my first thought was like, let me ask him, like. But I guess that was terrible.
It wasn't terrible. It was you're dealing with a person that doesn't care. And so you can't force people to care. But you can observe it, and you can take note of it, and you can be like, aha, this person's not on my team. So when you were sending the message to him, it was very first person focused. So like I'm putting on my Will salesman hat here right now. It's like, you want to have a communication with your boss in order to solve a problem, right? So in order to have a good communication, you need like a back and a forth and a back and a forth. And when you send something out that's uninteresting to people, like if I just like smear my fingers around the keyboard and it's just like blah, 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 and I click send to Jonathan, and you see that, you're like,
yeah,
what am I to do with this? Like, I'm not. The point is, I am not interested in this communication. So you look at it, and I see that you read it, and it's like, he doesn't care, And then I see that, like, damn, I sent Jonathan this message, and I'm trying to get this thing done, but like, he doesn't care about it. So from the sender's perspective, good communication always falls on the sender's shoulders. It doesn't fall on the receiver's shoulders, right? Because you're in charge of everything that goes on in your life. So you have to take accountability for everything that you send. You can't change the other people that are receiving. All that you can do is focus on the sending things. So if you're going to send him a message, then it has to be something that is based on his interest. So the first thing you have to do is remove yourself from the scenario, because let's be honest, most people don't care about most people, right? So like if I say, hey, Jonathan, I need you to help me with my problem that I have that is all my world stuff, right? You're like, okay, that's great, Will. I don't care. You're like, I'm, presuming that you're a person that just doesn't know anything or care anything about me, right? A better way to phrase the problem is like, hey, Jonathan, we have this project, or I'm a part of this company, and I need to make sure that this company runs smoothly, and you need to make sure that this company runs smoothly. This is something that's been identified, and like, there needs to be a solution to this. What are your thoughts? It's like it's more of a we focus, it's more of a, or even turning it into a you focus. It's like, hey, boss man, like, you need to make sure that this project gets done, and I'm the one that's doing it, and it's not getting done at my level of competency, and so there needs to be an upgrade to the things that I can do in order to get this job done, right? It's like if someone's taking they've got a chisel, and instead of a hammer they've got like a feather, and they're like smacking the chisel with the feather, and it's not doing anything. It's like, hey, boss man, I don't have a hammer, can you hand me a hammer so that way I can smack this chisel? Or be like, you could phrase it that way, or you could say like, hey, boss man, this wood needs to be chiseled, there's only a feather to do it, can you show me where to find the hammer? Or are there hammers around that exist for this thing to get chiseled? Because it's your problem. It's not my problem. I'm just the tool that's solving the problem. That's my thoughts on that. Just from a sales perspective, if you can find a way to spin it to where it's their problem, and you're the one that's helping them solve the problem, then they're much more inclined to give you assistance or things like that. So it's like when you talk to people from their perspective, when I say their problem, the thing to focus on is their own perspective. It's like boss man wants to make sure that problem gets solved, and you're the one that's solving it. So reminding him that, hey, boss man, here's this problem that you have, and I'm helping you. It's like I'm here to make your life better, right? So it's in your best interest to give me all the tools possible to solve your problem, because if the problem doesn't get solved, then it falls on your head, and I'm just the man that's doing the stuff. So that's a some of my ramblings and thoughts right there on that. That's some of the stuff I wanted to say.
So do you think like me just saying like, or like, because how I phrased the email originally, do you think that's like that's a personal
don't communicate
intent?
over email. That would be number one thing. Is
Oh,
like email is incomplete communication. It's good for information, just like text. It's not good for emotion. It's not good for urgency. It's not good for anything other than leaving a paper trail. So like I would communicate to him in person first and foremost, and then document the conversation via email. So it's like, hey, this stuff that we talked about, here's an update about it, right?
mhm.
If I say, hey, Jonathan, meet me for drinks at 4 on the 3rd of July, and I say that and I never send you a text about it, do you think you're going to remember it? Probably not, right? But if you talk about it and you send an email and you send a text or whatever, right, then you're hitting all these different like communication wickets where you can cover things over and over again. If you only do one of them, then it's like probably not going to go through, especially to people whose time and attention is valuable to them, or they're being consumed by like dozens and billions of projects that are going on. So like if you've got a concern that you want to have with your boss man, just sending him an email, and then him not responding or him giving it like minimal effort or whatever, it's like uh the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Have you ever heard that phrase before? The squeaky wheel gets the grease. All right, so if you have a shopping cart and there's a one squeaky wheel on it, do you grease all 4 wheels or do you just grease the one that's the problem?
The one that's the
It's like
problem. Yeah.
exactly. It's like the things that are the problem are the things that get the attention. So if your priority, or if the thing that you're working on is not his main problem, then it's probably not going to get his attention. Same thing with everything in life. The stuff that screams the loudest is the stuff that gets the attention. The hexagons that make the most noise are the ones that everyone's got on the top of their mind. Like if I say some keywords about different people in Hexaco, right? Everybody knows who they are because they're fucking loud as hell on Twitter, right? So the people that talk the most and the people that say the most things and the people that bring the most attention to the most problems and like hit all of the wickets as often as possible are the ones that get the most attention. Now there's a level of calibration to that. You don't want to oversaturate people with emails or texts or things, but like the main way to get things solved is human to human conversation. And if that's not possible, then email's appropriate. But I wouldn't rely only on one avenue of approach. You know what I mean?
Well, that was just one, the approach that I took at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe it could have gone better, but I still think about that. I get like PTSD from that. Like that's opening up the email response. That's unfortunate. Like
you get a bad feeling. What's something that gives you a good feeling? Fuck the bad feelings.
Well, what is something? Yeah, that's a good thing. Just positive reinforcement, right? It's like, oh, you're doing well, Jonathan, right? I think everyone likes that.
You are doing well, Jonathan, and I think everyone likes that, and they like you.
Oh, thank you.
That's my 2 cents.
I mean,
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it for you to thank me. I'm saying it because I think that it's true. It's like I'm not saying this to fluff your ego. I'm simply observing reality. Like you're a good dude. Jemmy was saying it in the comments. Actually, Jemmy was saying Jonathan is low key. We'll leave him alone. He's a good kid. Absolutely. I'm being a little bit critical and a little bit hard on you. You're a good kid, bro. You're fucking awesome. Jemmy thinks you're awesome. I'm sure everyone in the comments thinks you're awesome. Like you're doing great things, bro. You're doing awesome. And like for your age, Like you are worlds beyond your competition. So just give yourself a pat on the back, and also give yourself permission to fail and be more confident, and just be like, you know what, everything's going to be okay. Because if you zoom out far enough, you can't even see the Earth. So it's all good.
I had a thought, but I kind of forgot.
Oh, damn it. Damn it.
Yeah, like I think I was getting somewhere, and then you just cut me off for a second.
Oh,
it's
fuck.
it's
I'm
all good.
sorry, dude.
It's
Damn
all
it.
good.
I do this all the time. Shame on me.
Give me a second. I think I got it.
Do you remember? So what was it? What we were talking about when you had the thought?
It was like well, we were talking about positive reinforcement.
Yeah. It's
right?
very important.
No, let's talk about
Do you
something
give
else
yourself
before
permission?
Oh, hold on.
I was saying give yourself permission. I was saying, like, surround yourself with people that are cool and people that are awesome and people that are on your team. I don't think I was saying that, but that's just stuff that's popping into my mind right now. I'm kind of entering flow state. Is it
No,
gone?
I literally lost my train of thought. No, I'm sorry.
Train is left the station. Okay. We'll tell you what. Here's what we'll do. When the train leaves the station, sometimes we just got to improvise. So right now, we've been joined by some other folks in the Degen Roundtable. I want to remind everyone, like it's saying at the very bottom of the screen, if you type in hashtag Shrimp Tech, you get the chance to win. Or actually, if you type in Shrimp Tech, you definitively win one of these Degen Roundtable stickers, and you get a chance to win some of these other fancy, awesome stickers like this Hex.com sticker or this Hex.com sticker, or some of these other stickers that I'm not going to show you guys because I want to keep the air of mystique and everything. So type in hashtag Shrimp Tech like Jemmy did, like Beach Dwell, Hex Glenn, some of these other folks. Everyone that types in hashtag Shrimp Tech will definitively get a Degen Roundtable sticker if you message me over on Telegram. I'll go ahead and broadcast right now where you guys need to message me, because I know that I wrote it in here somewheres. But send me any sort of address for oh, there we go. T.me/Will Stevenson. If you guys go to your URL bar at the top of your screen, you type in T.me/Will Stevenson, then it will take you to Telegram where you can DM me and you can send me any sort of address. And I promise I'll keep it safe. Like your addresses are safe with me. I know so much stuff about so many things that like fucking like there's so much craziness that I have inside my head. You're safe. Your address is safe with me, or your friend's address is safe with me. So DM me an address where I can mail these fucking stickers, right? Because here's a sticker right here. I'm gonna go into the post office tomorrow after work. I'm gonna mail out a whole bunch of these fucking things. I gotta buy more envelopes actually. Now that I think about it, because there's like 6 or 7 people that have typed in hashtag Shrimp Tech. But we're gonna go ahead and do a giveaway right now for all the folks at home who have typed in hashtag Shrimp Tech. And sorry, Fast Abdul, hashtag Gimtech and hashtag Pimp Tech do not work. You have to type in hashtag Shrimp Tech in order for the chance to win a fancy secondary sticker and definitively win one Degen Roundtable sticker. So that's what we're got going on. While I wait for all of the folks at home to put in those hashtags, if you're interested in doing so, I'm going to go ahead and read the chat motherfucking shout outs. So, bam, it's time for some chat shout outs. Let's see what we've got in the meantime. We've been joined by Mr. Moonpilled Rational Optics, Whiskey and Pointy Objects. What could possibly go wrong? Fucking nothing, dude. We're around pointy objects all day. Life is safe. Life is good. And on the subject of, I think this is while I was talking about how to use that leather stitching awl. Being handy is a superpower anymore, or isn't a superpower. I don't think it's as super as it used to be. On that, I agree with you for sure, because anybody can use YouTube University to learn all these fancy schmancy tricks and tips and everything. And we've also been joined by Mr. Funkmaster Hex. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening to you too, sir. Mr. Funkmaster Hex, the Trailer Park Boys Julian of the Degen Roundtable and Hexco and crypto space in general. Glad that we could have you with us tonight, Mr. Funkmaster Hex. So, if anybody wants one of these fancy schmancy Degen Roundtable stickers, then you got to do 2 things. You have to type in hashtag Shrimp Tech, and you get one for free, and you have to send me an address on T.me/Will Stevenson. I'm putting it right here, right now. So if I don't get a DM from you, then I don't know where the fuck to send it. So I will literally just have to sit on these stickers until you guys DM me. any sort of address or PO box or whatever the hell to send it to. So that's what's going on with all of that. But it looks like we have had no more entries for our little giveaway thingamajigger. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my screen share, present, share screen, StreamYard giveaway tool. All right, there we go. So we have this fancy schmancy shrimp tech giveaway technology right here. What's going to happen is I'm going to click on that draw button, and then it's going to do a random giveaway for someone, and they're going to win a fancy schmancy secret sticker. So not only do you get a DGen Roundtable sticker, but you also get a second sticker as well. So whoever wins this fancy thing gets a super cool, awesome second sticker as well. So we'll go ahead and click the draw button. And I need to make sure that I play some fancy schmancy music while the draw is waiting. So I've got that up. I've got this up. Clicking the button. And it's going. It's going. It's going. Drum roll sound. And bazinga! Amber Simon, congratulations, Amber. You are the winner of the DGen Roundtable fancy schmancy sticker thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this special sticker right. Oh, fuck, you guys can see it. You already know what it is. All right, I'm going to give you, Amber, all right? So here is that that DGen Roundtable. You guys have already seen it, all right? I've already put the DGen Roundtable sticker thing in here. God damn it. I gotta put it in this fucking envelope. Anyways, I'm gonna find out this fucking envelope technology at some point. The DGen Roundtable sticker is in there. The fancy sticker is also in there. And you know what? I'm gonna do you one. I'm gonna do you one better, Amber. I'm gonna put in a third sticker, one of these magical ones that I'm pretty sure you guys cannot see on camera. So there's a third sticker that is super cool and awesome. Boy, howdy. I bet you guys wish you could see what that sticker is. But that's going right into that envelope. And that's going to go to Amber. Where is my pen? I need a fucking pen. I wish I had pens in this Connex. Man, I am so prepared for this whole thing. It was definitely not something that I thought about last minute. So here we go. I'm going to write Amber. Bam. Right there on that envelope. So you guys can, if Amber decides to post a picture of that later, whenever she receives it, then so be it. You guys will see what goes on with this sticker stuff. And we're going to do one more sticker giveaway. So we've got Amber Simon. We're going to click this draw again. Here we go. Do I have some music to go with it? Oh, we do. We're going to play this. Oh, and the winner is Mr. Hex Glenn. So, Mr. Hex Glenn, come on down. Good sir, you have won a fantastic, extra cool sticker. I've got this. Oh, nope, that one's Amber's. I need to make another one. All right, so this one is for Mr. Hex Glenn. We've got our standard DGen Roundtable sticker that you get, Mr. Hex Glenn. That's going right on over there into the envelope. And then I'm going to give you this one, which is a secret that nobody can see. And then I'm also going to give you this one, which nobody can see. And bazinga. There you go, Mr. Hex Glenn. You've got your own little fancy smancy sticker. I don't know what I just did with my pen. God bless America. Aha, there it is. I found it. I found it. It's off on the side. So, Mr. Hex Glenn, you are also the winner. Hex Glenn. And then if you guys don't want to send me your address, I totally understand. I will literally just hold on to this forever. And then, I'm basically I am my own vault of sticker collections. So there you go. If y'all want me to mail these stickers to you, then just go ahead and send me that DM over on Telegram, t.me/Will Stevenson. Send me your address, send me a friend's address, send me anyone's fucking address, and it'll work out. And I will just send these fucking stickers. I could fucking send them to a high school or to the president or anybody. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna send these stickers out to somebody. So there you guys go. I actually need to put for Hex Glenn's, I need to put some fucking stamps on there. So here we go. We've got a forever stamp from America going right. Ah, fuck! Look at that. We do it live, folks. We dropped the stamps and everything. So we're going to put a forever stamp on Mr. Hexglen's sticker packet collection. And you know what? Just because I fucking love you guys, Amber and Hexglen, I'm going to put one man, I haven't even opened any of these packs yet. This is a super secret pack. I haven't even opened them yet. I'm gonna find a oh shit, I just revealed them on camera. You guys can't see it, alright? Pretend you didn't see that. I'm gonna find a way to open these live. There we go. Man, I wish that these things were packed a little bit well. By the way, shout out to Crypto Stickers for making these for me. For those of you guys that don't know, you can go to Crypto Stickers. I will show you their sticker. Man, if I can get it off the damn table. You can go to Crypto Stickers on YouTube or Twitter or something, and you guys can order your own fucking stickers, and they're super cool and awesome. So, Miss Amber Simon and Mr. Hexglen, each of you guys get one of these fancy schmancy stickery stickers right here that I might have shown people, but I don't know if I did or not. So there you guys go, one for each of you, and I will seal those up and mail those out later at some point. But there you guys go, frickin' sticker time here on the DGen Roundtable. And now that that is now that that is over, we'll go ahead and end the show. Jonathan, did you happen to remember what your train of thought thing was from earlier, or is it
No,
just
I was so
unrelated?
like entertained by the sticker show.
Oh man, sticker show. All right, so here, dude, my fucking desk is covered in stickers right now. I'm gonna spend like 5 minutes cleaning all this crap up. So there you guys go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the DGen Roundtable. For those of you that have never seen us before, it's a good time. Mr. Jonathan, where can the folks find you, and what have you got going on in the near future, my friend?
Well, in the near future, I'm just I'm doing it as I do. I'm still interviewing. I'm studying, so nothing's too new. But if you want to go find me, the Telegram and the same is for Instagram as well. So Jonathan Novero, that same tag. You could put it on both Instagram and Telegram if you want to contact me, or you can find me on the DGen Roundtable if you hit the QR code somewhere this way.
I think
Yeah.
it's over that way.
Mhm,
It's over that. I
mhm.
keep forgetting camera left versus camera right. Shout out to you,
Yeah,
Jonathan. Thanks for
but
joining us today, bro.
that's where you can find me. Yeah, I'm happy to chat with you if you have any questions, or if you want to learn how to make a drink. I'll teach you. I'll show you. I'll give you a full detailed description. I can do that there. Mhm.
Jonathan is an excellent bartender and an excellent friend and a wonderful, awesome young man coming up in this great world, bro. I'm excited to see like the places that you go. So that's going to be some good stuff. So yeah, you guys can find him over in the DGen Roundtable Telegram at t.b/DRT join now. That is where he spends a lot of his time. And other than that, like he said, over on Instagram and Twitter and all those other things um, at Jonathan Novero. So there you go. The folks at home that are wondering where you guys can find me, all of my socials can be linked off of will.pls.fyi. That's also where you can find my Telegram for sending me addresses for every single one of you that typed in hashtag ShrimpTech. You guys, each and every one of you, get one of these fucking stickers if you send me an address, right? So send me an address and I will literally mail you a fucking sticker. I might throw two in there. Who the fuck knows? But like, send me an address and I'll mail you a sticker. And if you didn't type in hashtag fucking ShrimpTech, then well, you're just gonna have to wait till next time. So there you guys go. That's what's going on. You can find all of my socials at will.pls.fyi. You can find us here on the DGen Roundtable, streaming every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So there you guys go. Look forward to things going on with the DGen Roundtable in the near future. On Friday, we are covering the book Hijacking Bitcoin. It is by oh shit, what's the dude's name? Roger Ver. I almost wanted to say Ric Flair, but I know that that's not the guy who wrote Hijacking Bitcoin. So there you guys go. Hijacking Bitcoin by Roger Ver is what we're covering on Friday. Zenith will be hosting that show, and it's going to be awesome and it's going to be great. And then on Sunday, you guys can catch us here, and we will cover the latest crypto news for the stuff that's been going on throughout the week. So with that being said, it's time for us to go ahead and read the end of show copywriting and for me to get ready to click the thank you for watching button at the very end. So I want to thank you all for spending your valuable time with us here on the DGen Roundtable. As Agent J often says, we know that time is your most valuable asset, and we appreciate you spending it right here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Stevenson, but more importantly, you have been watching the DGen Roundtable. Mr. Producer, which is me, go ahead and get that trigger finger ready, because it's time to remind all the folks at home to remember to DGen responsibly.